Hi guys, my name is Coco. I'm a student at Chapman University, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about net neutrality. So we live under the impression that the internet is this free and open space where we can consume content and get inspired, do research, communicate with other people, when in fact the internet is not as free and accessible as the general public thinks it to be. So net neutrality was a set of laws that were created under the Obama era that basically protected users from being discriminated against and also protected companies from being discriminated against with regards to internet speed. So the Federal Communications Commission, which is overseen by Congress, overturned the Obama era net neutrality laws this past June. So for the past couple months, we've been living in a world where it is legal for internet providers to regulate internet speed. And what's scary about it is that these internet corporations have a lot of power because obviously the internet has become a necessity for so many people. And it's wrong because they're regulating and curating the speed of certain websites for their personal financial interests as opposed to the public's general interest. So let's take the AT&T Time Warner merger, for instance. AT&T is an internet provider that serves millions of people in the US, and they are now also owners of companies such as HBO and Warner Media. So what's scary is that if your internet provider is also creating content, so for instance, AT&T is now controlling HBO, they can create fast tracks on the internet for HBO so that users can consume the content without any obstructions, and they can actually also slow down the internet speed for websites that are competing against HBO, such as Netflix or Hulu. So that's a pretty dystopian reality that we could be living in. And we're not really seeing the effects of it right now, but they are slowly going to settle into society, at least in the digital society that we live in, unless we bring back net neutrality laws.
So when it comes to the government, like not necessarily policing, like you said, but making sure that our rights aren't being taken advantage of in terms of internet usage and our data usage with corporations, why do you think that they decided to go back on the laws that were put in place during the Obama administration?
I think it has a lot to do with lobbying in politics. I think companies that are super powerful, such as AT&T or Verizon or other internet provider companies, are able to buy off congressmen that oversee the Federal Communications Commission, which overturned the laws. So I think there's a lot of corruption happening in politics, and that it's a huge reason why we're in this boat right now.
So for me, being a millennial girl, how would the overturn of net neutrality be beneficial towards me or not beneficial?
So the
How this
overturn,
would affect our daily lives?
the overturn that happened in June. So it's not beneficial because if you're trying to watch Netflix in a couple months and AT&T has decided to slow it down, you're not going to be able to watch your favorite show anymore. At least, or you could, but it'll be super slowed down and will kind of push consumers to start consuming content and interacting with certain websites that they might not be interacting with just without being influenced by internet speed. And it's pretty scary to be living in a world where the internet is being controlled by these giant, it's basically become an oligarchy, if not a monopoly, or I guess it's an oligarchy, and oligarchies are never really great for anyone. So yeah, that's it should be if the internet shouldn't be owned by anyone, and Congress should make sure that that is the case for now and forever.
Considering that these rules were overturned during the current administration, we probably won't see another change in the next 2 years until the next major election. So what do you think consumers can do to kind of evade this kind of net neutrality breach in your freedoms?
Well, I know there were a couple petitions going around on like change.org before the net neutrality laws were overturned earlier this year. So I think websites that can actually gather people's opinions are effective. I mean, there were like tens of thousands of comments on the FFC like question thread that they put up, and they certainly played a role in the decision that Congress made. But ultimately, I think that congressmen are definitely corrupt and will choose money over their, rational state of mind, or at least they'll choose money from lobbyists over the general interest of the public.